Welcome back, my anxiety fighters. It's day 4 of the 10-day mental challenge. You're so brave for still being here, for still being committed to what you want to do and learning how to cope with your anxiety and how to overcome it, how to control your thoughts, how to get out of this fight or flight mode. So you are awesome. Now, thus far, we've looked at balancing your nervous system through breath work. And we've looked at changing your state of mind through your physiology, by changing your physiology, right? And that's what we did yesterday. And I hope you had a blast with that. It was really fun dancing and singing. And today, what we're gonna do is we're going to start working on accepting your fear and accepting your always need to be in control. Isn't that right? Because you want to control everything that happens in your life. This way you make sure that that traumatic event that happened to you never happens again. Makes sense? So we do that by redefining our relationship to fear and by redefining our relationship with control. And I want to tell you a story first. And I remember myself when I struggled with health anxiety, just running away from the fear. And I remember that I used to either go to bed, stay in bed and fall asleep. That was my number one thing, to run away from my thoughts. I used to just immerse myself in cooking, which was, cooking is actually really, really good. But if I do it to run away from my thoughts will just come back to haunt me. If that makes sense, right? Because the more we push something, the more we push our thoughts, the more they're gonna come back and hit us even harder. Okay, so we don't have to run from them, but just address them. Address our thoughts. What do you want? How can I help you? How are you serving me? What can I do for you today? So it's very important to understand our thought process, what we're telling ourselves, that will help us redefine our relationship with control and with fear. So I remember that I just ran away from my fear and I immersed myself in whatever was there. I used to, I don't know, maybe even go out, talk to friends, watch Netflix, whatever it might have helped me to just not confront my fear. And all health anxiety fighters are just so fearful to confront the fear. And it's only normal in the sense that we have so many catastrophic scenarios that go through our minds that we don't want to think about, that we don't want to visualize, that we don't want to see, that scare us so much that we're afraid of confronting our fear. But it's because we don't understand our fear and where it's coming from that it's making us fear it. So once we understand where our fears come from, what makes us fearful, then we can redefine our relationship to fear. And I remember, to redefine your relationship with control, I'm going to tell you a story about me, again, when I struggled with health anxiety. And I remember always wanting to be in control. I just controlled my husband, my mom. I remember he's a very adventurous person, my husband, and he used to tell me, oh, I want to do bungee jumping. And I used to be like, no, hell no, you're not going to do that. Because of my fear of what might happen to him. Same thing for my mom. She's such a cheerful, positive person. And I used to just tell her, no, don't do this. Don't go there. Don't do that. And that was also because of my fears and what I feared. And I realized after that I was not letting these people be who they truly are. I was changing them because of my fears, because I was trying to control an event. Of course, what I was telling them came from a place of care for them, because in my mind, it was the right thing to do to avoid chaos. But for them, it was not that. For them, it was changing them and who they truly are as people. Again, redefining our relationship to fear and to control is essential in letting go of our anxiety and being able to control our thoughts and our emotions. Now, anxiety is kind of like an addiction, right? So if it satisfies our need to feel in control when everything around us seems chaotic. It gives us just a warm feeling, right? But unhealthy, a warm but unhealthy feeling of certainty and of control. And that's why we always look and go towards anxiety. So, and I want to give you this quote, which I think is beautiful. There's a quote that says, what you run from only stays with you longer. So stop running away from your fear. Stay with it, be with it. Okay? Now, your homework and your challenge for today is, first off, to identify what you're really afraid of. So journal why you're worried about that. Okay? So first, identify what you're really afraid of and brainstorm what you're really worried about that. Third, brainstorm and ask yourself, is it my fear of letting go and losing control that makes me attached to these worries? And if that's a yes, third, think, how can I redefine my relationship with control? What can I do to change how I feel now? Okay, and 4, journal one action that you can take right now to break your need for being in control. Okay, so these are 4 items to do these. This is your challenge for today. I hope you realize how important it is to balance your nervous system, to change your physiology, to redefine your relationship with control and with fear. If you have tried in the past a couple of things like yoga and meditation and have not worked for you, that's because you have not combined all of these and many more, which we're going to work on with together throughout this challenge. And that's why the Journey to Peaceful Mind program that I've created for health anxiety fighters tackles all of these things. That's it for the day. A lot of inner work to do, but you've got this. You are a fighter. Talk to you day 5.